Welcome to the Storyteller's Mind Movie Makers. Hosted by Melissa Reaves, this podcast explores the art and science of stories that are felt, not just told. Ready to turn your message into superpower and ignite impact? Let's dive in on today's episode.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Storyteller's Mind Movie Makers, where we are taking the science and applying it to the art form of storytelling for our everyday business use cases. So I want to talk about a couple of things that I think is really important. The first one is heart-led leadership. Knowing that a person is coming truly from their heart, you can tell who they are. They're authentic, they're real, they're calm, they're focused, and they see who they're talking to. They connect with the audience. They have a mission that will not rest until they have seen it through to fruition. These are the people that I personally celebrate and love to work with, versus more of an ego-led leader or even an ego-led public speaker. I work with a lot of people who want to step out on stages, and you can tell the difference. The ego-led is more about everyone look at me, I'm on stage and I'm going to entertain you and I'm super smart and you're going to love everything I say. And I think the audience kind of has to make their own decision on that. But when you see a heart-led leader, you know it. You can feel it. The connection is undeniable. So what are the things that make a heart-led leader so captivating? And I am going to throw this one out there right now. And that's vulnerability. That is the ability to actually look at your life, look at specific moments that changed you. You were trotting along just fine, and then something happened, and that something caused you to have to go and react or respond to it. And because you were responding to it, new people came into the scene, and then new people started working together, and then you solved for something, and you're different now because of it. That was your adventure. That's the story arc that we teach in the Storyteller's Mind Movie method. And once you've changed, and once you've reflected on that adventure that you just went on, you now have a beautiful story for your own personal, professional story library. And that story can now be used in a gala speech. It can be used on a podcast interview. It could be used in your About Us marketing. If it's your core story that puts you on the path that you're on today, that is absolutely something worth your time, your investment, and your commitment to mastering that story, because it's beautiful. Now, it's okay for you to tell that story as well. I oftentimes will hear from leaders, particularly my female clients, who are like, oh, I don't want to talk about myself that much. That's not what it's about. It's always about the people and the cause and what we're doing. And I hear you. That's right. You are one of the heads of that cause, and letting people in to know your why you do it and creating it in a proper environment to tell that core story will only make you more magnetic, right? And so I highly encourage everyone to think about that, because, I said mostly women, and I want to circle in with that because we're kind of raised to serve everyone else, have the job, have the babies, clean the house, raise the kids, take them to soccer. We're so busy helping everyone else that we don't have time necessarily to think about who we are when we're walking golden storybooks. And so reserving that time, I think, and giving yourself that permission and that grace to say, I'm going to take these next couple of minutes and I'm going to tell you a personal story about who I am and why I do what I do, does not make you arrogant. It does not make you full of yourself. No, it's quite the opposite. Brené Brown talks about this quite a bit in her work, because being vulnerable is damn scary, right? And there's all sorts of chatter that can go on in one's mind about that. And unfortunately, a lot of us think the negative chatter. We listen to it. All chatter is kind of negative, but like we listen to it and we can talk ourselves out of taking that moment and seizing it and sharing with the world the more expanded version of an experience that we had that made me, made you, made us superhumans, right? We go through trials and tribulations in this world, and those are all stories, all of them. So rather than trying to keep them to yourself because you don't feel as though that's your place to do, I want you to think about that a little bit more. While you're driving in the car, I want you to think about, like, why is it that you are holding back? And what would happen if you did open up more than you have before? I know, and it's boundary pushing, right? And anytime we cross over into a new land of unknown, it is scary. But you don't do it alone ever. You're always with someone that's there to guide. It could be your colleague, your spouse, your partner, a coach. It could be whoever it is that you need to help you spread those beautiful wings of yours and fly. And the wings fly on the wind of your experiences. I oftentimes say that your stories are as unique to you as your thumbprint, okay? Your stories, your organization's stories are your legacy. And so they will live on even when you move into another chapter in your life. That organization's stories are there. So learn them, embrace them, feel brave to share them because you're worth it. You're worth it. And it's your stories that are going to show people who you truly are. And then when you do that, that heart-led leader is seen. She's heard. So that's all I want to say today about that. Think about it. And as I always like to say, tell your stories and tell them well. All right. Until next time.
Thank you for joining the Storyteller's Mind Movie Makers. To build your story library and turn lived experiences into unforgettable mind movies, subscribe, leave a comment or review, and share this podcast. For fast, reliable support and coaching, subscribe to Missy AI, our AI storytelling coach available at storyfruition.com. And don't forget to follow @StoryFruition on YouTube and Instagram for more storytelling tips and live coaching. Thank you for listening. Until next time, keep crafting, keep sharing, and remember, tell your stories and tell them well.